Welcome to my virtual book launch, promotion, and giveaway. So, my name is Helen Garraway, and I am the author of the Sentinel series. The Sentinel series is a 3-book strong epic fantasy. Currently, this is the opening trilogy, but there will be more books in the series. But today, I'm here to talk about Sentinels Justice, which is the 3rd book and launches today, September the 7th, 2021. So exciting. So I can't believe that I'm sitting here talking about the fact that I have written 3 books in a epic fantasy series. And if you asked me 5 years ago when I first started writing that I would publish 3 books, I would have thought you were crazy and that was not ever going to happen. But I've done it. I'm here and I'm talking about my books and I'm just so excited and it's just amazing. And I'm just so thrilled to be sharing them with you. And the fact that Sentinels Justice is with you today. So you can purchase Sentinels Justice via Amazon, either as an ebook or a paperback. And it's been on a special or pre-order price of $2.99 or £1.99 since I put it on pre-order. And it continues until the end of today, the launch day, the 7th of September. And after today, it will revert to its normal price of $6.99. So I hope you take the opportunity to purchase it now while it's at special offer price. Who knows if I'll do it again? I don't know. I probably won't, but it's here today at the offer price. So get it while you can. And I hope you love the covers. I mean, I'm so thrilled with my covers. With it being epic fantasy, I wanted a panoramic artistic cover, and my cover designer Jeff Brown has done an absolutely amazing job, and I hope you agree that they're absolutely beautiful. This one is Sentinels Justice, and I'll show you the other books in a moment if you haven't seen them, and they're just as beautiful, and I'm just so pleased with them. So anyway, Sentinels Justice is available on pre-order until the end of today, so make the most of it. So the Sentinels series starts with Sentinals Awaken, which is the first book. And if you haven't read it, then it's on offer until the end of the 11th of September. So you've got a few days and you can pick the first book up at 99 cents or 99 pence. So this is the ebook version. It is again available as a paperback, or you can get it as a hardback if that's your preference. And Sentinels Awaken introduces us to the world of Remagrin, which is the world that I've created to set my books in. And Gerald Haven is a King's Ranger, and he's a tenacious, very focused individual, and he does his job well. And he's discovered that there is treason at the highest level. But before he can do anything about it, or before he can actually speak to the king, he in turn is accused of treason and incarcerated in the cells. Fortunate for him, he's accidentally awoken a sentinel. Now, the sentinels are mythical beings. They were the ladies' guards, which with the goddess Lady Leandri, who 3,000 years previously destroyed what they call the Bloodstone and pulled down a veil to protect the world of Remagrin against the wild magic of the ascendants who were trying to take over the world at the time. So when she pulled down this veil and prevented magic from permeating the world, she banished herself, the ascendants, and the sentinels. The sentinels disappeared with her at that time, and in their place appeared all of these sentinel trees. And so the trees were named after the sentinels as they disappeared and the trees appeared. And the myth and legend was that the sentinels were sleeping within those trees until such time as Remagrin needed their assistance and needed to be protected again. Everybody believes it's just a myth. It's over 3,000 years ago. It's like, how can a person sleep in a tree after all? So when Gerald accidentally awakes one, he doesn't believe it's true either. He thinks he's hallucinating, or it's a vision, or it's his imagination, and he touches a tree and sees a man and doesn't realize it really is a sentinel. But by touching the tree, he's woken him. And here we have Valerian, who is the first sentinel that we meet in Sentinels Awaken. As I said, fortunate for him, he's awoken Valerian because Valerian helps him escape from the cells. And so begins the adventure of finding out what's happening in the kingdom of Vesperi. Why is the king ill and not ruling as he should? What's the crown prince up to? And why is he committing treason against his father? And who's driving these changes within the watches of Vesperi? So Sentinels Awaken is the beginning of the adventure, and it's an action-packed book. And it's, as you'll see, if you read some of the reviews on Amazon, I hope you'll see that it is an immersive experience. They're charismatic characters. It's a really exciting story, and I hope you start the journey with me. So Sentinels Awaken is the first book, and then we move on to the second book, which is Sentinels Rising. And Sentinels Rising was published in March of this year, so it's been out about 6 months. And this time it takes us to a neighboring country called Tyrolia. And Tyrolia is a desert kingdom. And when I built my world, I was thinking about what would be the environment of each kingdom as to how that would drive the culture and the behavior of the people. So being a desert kingdom with arid conditions, a lack of water, people would have to move around to find the resources. So this made them nomadic. So then we have the nomadic families of Tyrolia, who we meet within Sentinels Rising. And again, the cover is absolutely gorgeous as it's, oh, actually I have it here, I'll show you, with all of the colors of the desert. So it's really, really pretty. So, and I'm really chuffed that actually I did get some recognition for my covers, because Sentinels Rising came second in the All Author July competition for the cover, and we came second. So we were almost first, but we ended up second, and it's just nice to get some recognition for my books. So the cover and the artist, as I say, did an amazing job, and they're absolutely beautiful. And of course, now we're with Sentinals Justice. So Sentinals Justice is the next book, and it's launching today, and I just couldn't be more excited. And Sentinel Justice takes us to the Kingdom of Elothia, or the Grand Duchy of Elothia. The Ascendants have moved their eyes to the Grand Duke's army, who they intend to use to wipe Vesperi from the map and get what they want, because they've been thwarted so far. So here we are moving towards the final confrontation, and we're approaching the icy wastes of Elothia, where we will see that confrontation happen in this book. So I hope you start the series with Sentinel Awaken and join me for the journey as we continue to build the world of Remagrin and explore all of the corners that are available. So Sentinels Awaken is on offer, and Sentinels Justice, again, is on a special pre-order price until the end of the day. You can also enter a competition to celebrate us, or celebrate me launching my book. So the giveaway is for a signed copy if you're in the UK or Europe, or a digital copy if you're outside of the UK or Europe. I'm sorry, but the postage is just so extortionate at the moment that it's just not practical to try and ship outside of UK or mainland Europe. And the giveaway is open until September the 14th. So you've got plenty of time to go and enter. And the giveaway link you can find in my link tree, which is linktree/Helen Garraway. And you'll find that in there, or you can find it via my Instagram account, which is at Helen Garraway Author, and you'll find my link tree there as well. So if you just want to just click straight on the link, you'll be able to find the giveaway and links to all my books and all my other social media there as well. So please enter the competition. Look forward to announcing the winner on the 15th of September for a signed copy or a digital copy, dependent on your location. But please enter. It's worth the trying. So that's the giveaway. And then I thought maybe I'll just read you a short excerpt from Sentinels Justice, just to give you a flavor of the book. And then maybe raise a class just to celebrate the fact that we've launched. And it's like so exciting. So this is a passage from chapter 7. We're in the Watchtowers in Stoneford. So we're still in Vesperi at the moment. He hasn't been sent off to Elothia yet, but he will be. But here we go. So here's just a brief excerpt from the beginning. They clattered into the Watchtower's courtyard late that evening, and the sergeant rushed up to greet them. I was going to send a message to the keep. The scholar arrived yesterday, all beat up. Where is he? Gerald asked. In his room. He ain't left it. Is he badly hurt? Just bruises, I think. He was more shocked than anything. Very well. I'll go and see him. Sentinels Ventarian and Tianaril are here to take over the management of the watchtowers. You and your men will report to them. Yes, sir. The sergeant watched the sentinels warily. Ventarian, see what you can find out from the sergeant. Tianaril, you come with me. Let's see what Torsion can tell us. Gerald's steps slowed as he walked up to the entrance. He halted as the aroma of dry stone hit him. His heart rate accelerated, and he broke out in a sweat as he froze. We are here for answers, Tianaril's steady voice said from behind him. Once we have them, you and Nyalarian can return to Old Vespers and leave the towers to me and Ventarium. Answers, Gerald repeated, and taking a deep breath, he entered the building. They found Torsion in his room, on his hands and knees, scrabbling about in a box of papers. He jerked up as Gerald opened the door, an expression of undisguised horror spreading across his face as he leapt to his feet. Gerald, what are you doing here? I'm here to see you, of course. Why else would I be here? You were hurt, he said, his eyes flicking down to Gerald's hand. Gerald held up his gloved hand. Everything heals in time, he said. What about you? The sergeant said you were not well. Torsion tottered over to his bed where he dramatically collapsed. I barely escaped with my life. It was terrible. So I see, Tianaril said dryly. Torsion flicked her a resentful glare. You don't know what it was like. If it hadn't been for Shivan, I wouldn't have escaped. They were focused on that sentinel. I told you he was no good, Gerald. Why didn't you listen to me? He was fighting off the Rangers, and he wouldn't let anyone into the tower to help you. He was defending me. It was a good job someone was, Gerald said, running a hand through his hair as he tried to contain his spurt of disbelief. Was Torsion really trying to accuse Valerian of being an ascendant? Torsion's gaze slid over him, and he changed tack. He was hurt, so they took him with them. I told you he was one of them. Don't be ridiculous, Torsion. You know better than that. Valerian is no ascendant, and you know it. Anunsa took him because he couldn't escape without taking Valerian with him. Gerald, look, I know he's one of yours, but I've told you, you can't trust them. Anger flared through Gerald, burning off his tension. Don't you dare. I told you before, Valerian is the lady's, and he is my friend. And if you have nothing to say that will help us find him, then don't speak. Tianaril slipped past him. You've damaged your hands. What's happened? She asked, grasping Torsion's hand and smoothing her fingers over the swollen knuckles and faded bruising. Torsion tried to snatch his hand back, but Tianaril tightened her grip. They were caused by you punching something, or someone, repeatedly. I had to fight my way out. I told you. I couldn't stay there. It's not my fault they took him. Where were you when you escaped? Tianaril asked, releasing his hand, and Torsion tucked it under his arm. Amsar. They were boarding a ship. I managed to overpower my guard, and Shivan helped me escape. And Valerian? They had already tossed him in the hold. I couldn't help him. Where were they going? I don't know. North, up the coast. Why didn't they come back for the guards and horses? I don't know. What do you know, Torsion? Gerald asked, a bite in his voice. Torsion flapped his hands. It wasn't my fault. When I was woken by the racket your sentinel was making, I had no idea what was going on. My first thought was to make sure Talia was all right, but I got caught up in the fracas in the courtyard. You didn't come up into the tower? No, I told you, I couldn't get past Valerian. When he was overpowered, I thought it would be over, but there was a blinding flash. He did something, knocked us all out. When I came to, I was in a cart with him. He was out cold. I couldn't get him to respond. He flicked a nervous glance at Tianaril as she hissed. I pretended to be unconscious, and I overheard them speaking. They're after the Grand Duke. They were going to Retafu. Cheryl frowned. Retafu? Why not the Summer Palace? The Grand Duke would have relocated by now. Torsion shrugged. That was what they said. When we pulled up at the dock, I managed to slip away while they were unloading Valerian. I had to fight off some of their guards, but Shivan appeared and we escaped. It took us weeks to get back here. Why didn't you go to Stoneford? It was closer, Tianaril asked. Torsion scowled. I wasn't thinking straight. I let Shivan choose where we went. As I said, it's taken us weeks to get back. And now, do you mind? I've had a terrible experience. I need to rest. Tianaril smiled, though it didn't reach her glittering eyes. That's right. You ought to stay in bed. The best place for you. The captain will create a waystone, and I'll escort you to Stoneford. Their healer will soon have you sorted. That won't be necessary. A good night's sleep, and I'll be fine. Oh, we don't want to take any risks. I think you ought to see the healer. But for now, rest. I'll send some food up for you. Tianaril hustled Gerald out and shut the door on Torsion's protests. She wouldn't let Gerald speak until they reached the ground floor. There's something not quite right about him, she said. Do you think he's been unspelled? The Ascendants have discovered Mentacerium. It's possible. You need to be careful about believing anything he says. The only thing that rang true was him not being able to get past Valerian. He was annoyed by that. We still don't know where they're going. North into Elothia. There's not much in the north of Elothia. It shouldn't be hard to find him. It's the cold season. It'll be snowed in, which means they've gone to a large town. They wouldn't get through the snow off the beaten track. Gerald stared off into the distance. Rotafu was in the west, clear across the other side of the country. If he went there, could he find a way north? You should create your waystone, Captain. Time for you to return to Old Vespers. I'll take Torsion back to Stoneford. They can keep an eye on him there. Healer Tyrone at Stoneford has some experience with Mentasirian. He will be able to tell if Torsion is affected, Gerald said as he walked out of the building. He stared around the courtyard, his mind churning as much as his gut was. Nihilarian approached. You've got your work cut out here, Tianaril. Mentasirian is not impressed. Tianaril laughed. He'll be happy sorting it out then. Come on, Captain. Take your waystone. You need to get back. And that was an excerpt from Sentinels Awaken. Sentinals Justice even, my third book of the Sentinel series. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that excerpt, and I hope it tempts you to go and buy my books and join me on my journey. You can find them, as I said, on Amazon. And if you pick up the ISBN from Amazon and you prefer to buy elsewhere, you can get the paperbacks and the hardbacks of Sentinels Awaken and Sentinels Rising at a vendor or a retailer of your choice, or via your library. You can also add them to your Goodreads or BookPub to be read lists. Please do. That helps drive the visibility of my books. And once you have read it, please do leave a review. And it not only helps the visibility of my books, it also helps other readers decide whether or not this is the right book for them. I always think reviews are more of a matchmaking for book lovers than anything else. But please leave a review and let me know what you think. You can find me on a variety of social media outlets. As I said, Instagram is probably where you'll find me most active, and my handle is @HelenGarrawayAuthor. And I look forward to seeing you there. So please raise a glass with me to celebrate the launch of Sentinels Justice. And I hope you enjoy my series. Thank you so much for joining me. Goodbye.